Hey, John.
Hey, so we got Clive Barker on the show tonight, huh?
Yeah. He writes all those children's books.
No, he writes all the books about death and the dark underworld.
Oh, well, it's going to be great. I got this thing that I do that's just going to freak him out.
Cool, what is it?
Yeah, it's just this thing I scare everybody with upstairs.
Oh, let me see.
You don't want to see it.
Oh, come on, let me see.
Really?
I'm your buddy. You can show me.
Okay.
For me or for the fashion risk I took wearing this tie? Welcome to Later, ladies and gentlemen, the show that gives you a half hour of top-notch network television entertainment. In fact, in the past year and a half, we've probably given you, 45 minutes of top-notch entertainment. So we got a great show for you tonight. Horror Meister himself. This guy is second only to Stephen King in terms of his horror genre writing. Mr. Clive Barker will be out here just moments from now. Very dark, very sinister. Before we do that, we got a little business to get to. Some late breaking news. You probably have heard about this. We've all heard, in fact, the excerpt, even though he spoke for hours on tape, we've only heard, apparently, I guess, a few moments. And I think we're the first show to actually get our hands on the unedited master tapes. And I thought, if you'd like, we'd go ahead and play a few of these disturbing selections for you people. Wow, this is disturbing.
There was a time we went to Disneyland and beat the hell out of Goofy. Man, by the time we got done with him, he wasn't just goofy, he was unconscious.
See that? Yeah. See that? Very, very dark, and that's why they call it the happiest place on earth. Take a listen to this one. This is disturbing.
Truth, man. I mean, I can't believe it's not butter. No matter how much I try, I just can't. I can't, man.
I think we all know how he feels about that one. This is a very, very dark one for Mr. Furman.
So I went to see that Clint Eastwood in that Bridges of Madison County. What a ripoff. Wasn't about bridges at all. He doesn't even kill anybody.
I don't know if he gets it, really, Marky, about that particular one. This one, I think, says everything you'd ever want to know about Mr. Furman, all wrapped up in one little excerpt.
Well, I mean, I don't think I'd call it a talent. It's not a talent. It just gives me some place to put my thumb.
Oh, we got one last one.
And snuck it up into the bridal suite. You should have heard her scream.
Yes, indeed. And, I guess we have just this one last one.
Sure, I'd order Swiss cheese if they didn't have all those holes. They're ripping me off, those Hell, American cheese don't even have any holes, and it costs less. That's why I hate the Swiss, man.
I don't think he gets it. Our old Mark Furman. Stephen King called my guest tonight the future of horror. Many of his books have been turned into movies, and he's the director of the newly released Lord of Illusions. But you know him best for creating the Hellraiser movies featuring the villain Pinhead, which coincidentally is my name on the internet. Please welcome, if you will, Clive Barker. Some horror film fans in the crowd tonight. You want to write about something really, really horrific, right?
Yeah.
About that Mark Furman guy in your next book.
Yeah, well, that passion for cheese. What part of your anatomy was being pulled out of the shirt?
Well, I believe that was, well, you would know better than I. Being the expert of horror that you are, you tell me. I don't even know.
Well, it was too big for your heart, really, wasn't it? And I'd heard you were fairly heartless anyway. So what was it? What was it? Come on, tell all.
Well, thank you, Clive. Let's get right down to the interview. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
I was wondering about you guys. You know, Stephen King, yourself. There's got to be some sort of dark, twisted things floating around.
Yeah. The often asked question is, what happened to me in my childhood? Did the dog die? Did the family die?
Damn, I can scratch those off right here.
What do you got here? I am I think I'm a pretty normal guy with a fairly normal imagination. It's just that nobody else will admit to the fact that they think the same things as I do. That, you know, there's a lot of people out there
You're
with
getting some booze from the audience already.
I sense that a lot of people have an interest in this kind of dark material.
Right.
And
it's true, they always have. It dates
and
back
horror
to
movies forever, right?
Yeah.
I mean, horror movies since the beginning of cinema have been popular. And I think part of it is that the monster allows us to do things and say things that we'd like to say and do.
Yeah, now you've mentioned the monster and the dark demons of the underworld. I mean, do you actually buy into any of this stuff?
You mean
yourself?
literally, truthfully?
Yes.
No, I don't. I'm
Phony! No, I'm kidding.
Gee, God. I don't believe that, you know, Pinhead is stalking the halls of any S&M club anywhere near us.
Yeah.
More's the pity, you know. But part of it is that these images are images which bypass our intellect. They bypass our brains. They go straight to the part of the anatomy that was pulled out of your shirt. You know, it goes straight to the gut.
Right.
And I think that that's part of their power. We don't go into horror movies to have, you know, intellectual experiences. We go to be stirred up. We go to have our passions roused. And that's part of the fun. It's one of the reasons why they're great date movies, by the way. I mean, they are great date movies. And they always know it, really. I did a program with Dr. Ruth. And she said to me, so these are...
Really? She's over there at CBS or Fox
No,
these days?
this is a while ago. This is Wes Craven, who made Nightmare on Elm Street.
Right.
Wes Craven and I did Dr. Ruth together. And she's...
Boy, you talk about a horror film,
and may I say, she was very grateful. No, we did Dr. Ruth together, and Dr. Ruth says, so these are the arouse, the emotions, the arouse, the passions.
Right.
And why is this? And, you know, I don't honestly have an answer. I do know that, you know, you go into a movie house to see Lord of Illusions, you're going to see a lot of couples leaning close to each other, and the girls leaning into the boys' shoulders, and jumping together and maybe into each other's laps, and you know, that's part of the fun of it, right?
You actually have spent some time, I've read, to get into the mood for writing in cemeteries.
Cemeteries are great places, really quiet.
No, I don't. This sounds like the type of thing a publicist would put out about you, but is it true? Do you genuinely go there to try and get in the mood?
It's completely true. I mean, cemeteries here in America, I've only been living here 4 years, are not as interesting as English or even French cemeteries. We could talk a long time about cemeteries. But English cemeteries, you know, 19th century cemeteries are great, really quiet, tranquil places. The neighbors are quiet. They're just really cool places.
Everyone's quiet, really, if you think about it. Do you keep a dream journal or something that helps you?
I keep a journal of any idea that floats into my head. I try and write down. You never know when an image that comes your way is going to be useful, is going to be something that you can fold in. I think the imagination is a muscle. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And so I am trying constantly through my day to use my imagination. It isn't always for scary stuff. You know, I write for kids as well. I write fantasies. I write a lot of erotic stuff. I mean, wherever my imagination can be used, I'll use it.
Do you ever write something and think, wow, this is really going to be scary, and read it and say, it doesn't work?
Yeah, actually, fairly often. I mean, you write stuff all the time, and you look at it and you say, you know what, it doesn't work.
Right.
And you sort of have to trust your gut. You have to trust your instinct.
Hellraiser was you directed the original Hellraiser, and now you have nothing to do with the Hellraiser Part 2 through 97.
There's somebody else's movies. I mean, I still have an emotional attachment to the monster I unleashed. You know, I mean, Pinhead's still my baby, you know, and I still feel very warm and loving towards him.
Something disturbing about that.
We were talking recently about the Pinhead condom as the ultimate, you know, merchandising gambit. You know, and I feel...
That would be a failed product,
well,
I'm pretty sure.
You know, we're living in the... You know, get with the action here. Or maybe don't. it seems to me as though Pinhead is everywhere. I make the joke about condoms, but he's jigsaws, he's plastic models, he's on posters, he's on phone cards in Italy. You can phone your mother with a Pinhead phone card.
Right.
And one of the things that happens when you get that kind of exposure is that to a monster is that it's the law of diminishing returns. How scary can this guy be?
Right.
And so each time you go back and you do the monster again, in a way you've got to revitalize him. You've got to make him fresh. You've got to make him scary all over again, which tends to mean you need more special effects, more blood, more of the stuff we saw at the top of the show.
I don't know if you could make him more frightening, more disturbing, more disgusting than this. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look. Can we air that? We'll have to cut that out of the show, I'm afraid. My gosh, that's some pretty horrific stuff. This Pinhead guy, does he actually get fan mail? Did I hear that correctly?
Yes, he gets a lot of fan mail from ladies who would like to bear his children. No kidding.
Yeah.
Seriously. Oh, yeah, somebody in the audience. There you go. We'll see you later. It's extraordinary, but there's something very erotic about monsters.
Yeah.
There's something...
In what way? What do you mean?
They talk about our forbidden selves. It's going back to what we were saying earlier about the taboo elements. It's the things we shouldn't say, the things we shouldn't do. And you know that if somebody says you shouldn't do something, that's when you want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Pinhead may not seem like the ideal kind of erotic character, but he has some kind of power, which galvanizes people. And by the way, I didn't plan it that way. I mean, I'd be the first to say the audience have told me that. Mm-hmm. It's not. I didn't get up in the morning and say, gee, this is a really hot, sexy character. I can see this. This is a Playgirl centerfold right here.
Right.
I just looked at a character who seemed cool looking, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever find you have to pull yourself back a little bit from...
In movies, yeah.
Yes,
Never in books. In movies,
yeah.
But people tell you to pull yourself back.
But don't you think that there's some... I mean, you hear, Bob Dole has gone out publicly about the... about violence in films. You see, certainly your audience has got to be fairly young people. Do you feel like there is any credence in what he's saying?
No.
Okay.
I think Uncle Bob, as he will be known hereafter, is in pursuit of presidency, and he'll say whatever he needs to say right now. And I thought his list of movies we should see and the movies we shouldn't see was very interesting and somewhat self-serving. I think that the issue has got to be how long have these stories been around for? Right. How long have people been telling horror stories, ghost stories, dead of night stories? Well, geez, they've been telling them forever. And they've been telling them around campfires, they've been telling them on the page, now we're telling them on the big screen. And they're a healthy, therapeutic part of who we are as human beings.
Yeah. I hope Bob approves, or Uncle Bob, of commercials,
Bob,
because we have to do one. We'll be right back with Clive Barker after these words.
Followed me, Demore.
How did you do that?
Now I'm gonna have to kill you.
I don't think so. You need me alive.
Why? So you can the woman I love?
If you love her so much, why did you widow her?
Clive Barker, the man who directed the film Lord of Illusions. That's Scott Bakula there.
That's Scott Bakula, the man from Quantum Leap,
Yeah.
and Murphy Brown.
What's this film about?
It's about...
Don't tell me it's something to do with horror.
It is. It is about dropping cars on guys.
Yeah.
It's about magic. It's about the dark side of illusionism. It's you know, it's about a character called Harry D'Amour, who's a detective I've been writing about. Scott plays this guy who takes this journey from the world of illusionism, you know, Copperfield, Siegfried and Roy style illusionism, into the world behind the illusionists' illusions, which isn't illusion at all. It's the real thing.
Let's do that one more time.
It's
No, I'm
the
kidding.
trip between. It's very cool. I think it's a mixture of things. It's a thriller. It's a horror movie. It's very much a horror movie.
They told
and
me
it's scary.
that a lot of chicken guts and stuff.
There are
played
a lot,
part in the
lot of
film.
chickens. Well,
Yeah.
actually, chicken's more for the sound than anything else.
How so?
Well, you know, all those moist moments in the movie, you know about moist moments.
Yeah.
You've got a girlfriend.
She's gonna love that.
Well, try doing it to the accompaniment of chicken guts, because it brings out a whole other thing. You get a chicken.
Okay, we'll try that.
There you go, at home. Actually, I tried that on Dr. Ruth. No, they used, the sound guys used this thing with plunging their hands into dead, I want to say dead chickens. Now,
Yeah.
we're not talking about live chickens.
Oh,
that's a whole other thing.
That's a whole different sound.
A whole other perversion, I have to say. Depending on whether you're the chicken, I don't know. Anyway, you started this. The sound guys use chicken guts a lot to get the moist sounds going.
Yeah.
It's a craft.
And does it? I know it deals a little bit with the cult world. Have you studied that?
The cult
world of cults. Did you have to look into that in order to do this?
I'm kind of interested in you know, we seem to be in a time when people are joining cults. And you know, one of the serious elements of the movie is, and one of the things which roots it in reality, is that the movie starts in this strange cult led by this crazy guy called William Nix, who's the villain of the movie, who, unlike most cult leaders, can really do stuff. I mean, he's the real thing.
Right.
And that makes him
You
kind of
found out
scary.
that most of these in your studies, for the most part, are
Fakes.
Fakes.
Of course.
Phonies.
But, you know, this is a movie. We're allowed to do the real thing.
I don't want you to knock your readers or your viewers of this whole horror genre,
Right.
but let's face it, you probably have, I would imagine, in some of those fans, some fairly unusual individuals.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I read that at a book signing, a guy came up and slit his wrists.
No, that's an exaggeration. Not both.
That's what we do at this hour.
No, he did. He put his flesh and a razor together, and it was an unfortunate moment. But I feel it was an anomaly. It so seldom happens.
But what happened? You're standing there,
You
and
just
the
want
guy...
to know the bad stuff, don't you? Yeah. It was a guy, I was at a signing, a guy came along, and he said, you know, I'm doing this for you, and opened up his arms with a razor. And, you know, it was not my favorite moment at a signing. I've done a lot of things I preferred.
Did you at least sign the guy's book for crying out loud?
I actually put his blood in the book.
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah. Well, I felt like it was a way to sort of calm him down. I mean, he was fairly agitated. But I do want to emphasize that is very, very rare. And, you know, when I was talking before this interview to your man Mark, I was saying, you know, let's be sure if we tell that tale, let's say that there are also tens of thousands of people who come to signings who are wonderful, normal people who just have a passion for the macabre.
Yeah. We have to do a quick break. I don't mean to discard that, but we do have to do a quick break. We'll be right back with Clive Barker.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joyce Brothers. In the immortal words of Sigmund Freud, nutsy Fagin. Now back to the show.
That's me. Thanks.
There you go.
Clive Barker, not only the writer, not only the director, but also the illustrator. You've how long have you been drawing these pictures?
I've been illustrating and painting for 20 years, I suppose.
20 years?
Yeah.
And you got a couple of things to work out, my friend.
Yeah.
That is What is going on?
A very special moment.
What,
yeah.
What like inspires you when you're
What
writing?
inspires me? We're back to Dr. Ruth, aren't we? It's actually just stuff that I see when I close my eyes. It's all there. It's all there.
Would that be something like
this guy?
No, some of these are actually very interesting.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah, lie here and I'm going to talk about it.
Is it just a different outlet for you?
Yeah. I mean, the thing about making movies is you're dealing with a whole structure, a whole superstructure of, you know, financial people and creative people and the people who are going to release the movie and the people who are going to advertise the movie and so on. The cool thing about making a painting is I go into a studio and I paint it, and maybe somebody, if they like it, they buy it, and if they don't, I've made the painting. It doesn't matter. It's control freak stuff.
Right.
And it's the same with writing. I mean, I enjoy doing them all for different reasons.
Right.
I mean, I love making movies. I'm very proud of Lord of Illusions. I think it's the best thing I've done. But I'm glad now that it's done that I'm going on to write a book and go and paint a picture.
We have to do one last break. We're right back with Clive Barker after this.